Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. Let's go with today's lesson. We're going to learn about files and permissions, understanding permissions in Rocky Linux. Permissions in Rocky Linux and other Linux distributions are crucial for controlling access to files and directories. The ls space dash l command is essential for listing files and their permissions in the current directory, file types and indicators. So the D means directory, the dash means a regular file, and the L means symbolic link. We are going to understand that better in a moment. Also, we have the owner, the user owner for permissions, the group permission, and the others permissions. That will be easier to understand in an Excel file that I'm going to share with you in a few minutes. The R means read permission, the write, the W means write permission, and the X is execute. If a permission is not granted, a dash replaces the respective character. Example of the breakdown, consider the permission drwx r dash x r dash x for a file. The letter D indicates a directory. The RWX, the owner can read, write, and execute. The R-X, the group can read and execute but not write. The R-X, others can read and execute but cannot write. Let's take a look at that detailed example. We're going to see some files. This is a little different than the one I have. I'm going to show you my own files. This is only an example. You can actually create them with Touch. You can copy and paste and create those files with the Touch command. We can actually do that. Can actually do the Touch command. There we go. We have the first one. Let's go with the guide to create the other one with the Touch command. We're going to actually create the symbolic link as well, if possible. Let me see if I can create it. If not, I will investigate. All right, let's try to do a touch here to create this file first, and then we can try to run the command again. All right, let me checking with artificial intelligence to see what are we missing here. So give me just a moment to double check that. Let's go ahead and ask for some help here. So we're trying to create a symbolic link. So I'm trying to know the correct way to do it because there are so many commands that sometimes we forget. So it is actually ln dash s. That would be the right command. Let me copy that. Let's go ahead and create it. Give me just a moment to clear the screen because I'm getting too much information there. So let me just copy the first command and paste it there. I keep getting these error messages because when I try to copy and paste it, it's not allowing me to do so. So I will keep on trying and trying until one day it will finally work. It's giving me an error message. Why am I getting this error message? So maybe I have to. Oh, maybe it's because I created manually. Okay, let me go ahead and delete it with the rm command -r, and then it will be link underscore name. And let's run that command again. There you go. Now it finally works. ls-l, and you can see all the permissions there Amazing, we got it. All right, let's go with the step-by-step guide and let's continue with the instructions there. So we have a directory, read, write, execute, read dash, execute, read dash, execute. In this one, it might be a little different. Let me check there. The one we had is the directory name. It's actually a little bit different. We're going to see how to change permission in a moment, but let me just double check on something. Okay, if we want to add write permissions, we can use chmod u plus w and then the file name. If we want to remove the write permissions, we can use the wgw chmod g-w. And if we want to add execute permissions to others, we can use the chmod o plus x and the file name. So we want to have these permissions, most of them. So let me just open the Excel file that I will be sharing with you later. And it is very useful. So I'm going to try to add those specific permissions that we have there in the guide. So we have read w execute. Okay, so let me just add all permissions there. All right, so the other one is read and execute, read and execute. So read and execute. Let me just put this one in 0 at this moment. And this one in 1. Actually, I have to add a 4 there. Read and execute, read and execute. All right, so it will be 755. That will be the permissions that we need to add in that file. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go there and do the following. What is the name of the file, guys? Do you remember? Directory name, right? So you have to do chmod 755 directory underscore and then name. Now, if we type the same command, you will have the permissions that we were trying to get. Now there's a problem. That is actually a file, and the one that we have in the presentation is a directory. So how can we fix it? Let's just go ahead and delete it for now. Directory, and then name with the underscore. I might be able to do it one day. All right, it is name, and let's do the following. mkdir directory, and then underscore name. Now we have the directory there. We want the permissions the way we have them before, chmod 755, then directory, then underscore and name, ls-l. Now you see directory with the correct permissions that we're trying to get. Okay, so we have read wx, read dash x, read that dash x. We got it. Now let's take a look at the other permissions and try to change them if required. So read w, read and read for the file name. Let's take a look at the file name there. Let's go to the terminal and let's take a look. File name is read wrr. No permissions need to be changed. Let's look at the last file, the link name, and look at the permissions there for that one. And it has all permissions, so we don't really have to change any additional information here. We're good to go. So understanding the structure of a file and a directory permission is essential for managing access in the Linux systems. The ls space -l commands provides detailed information on permissions of each file directory. Let's take a look at In the next module, we will be covering the chmod, the chowned, and the chgrp commands. For now, this is what we need to know. I want to just cover background and double check with you guys the Excel file that I will be sharing later. So if you take a look, we have the basically what we have here is user, group, and owner. And basically, we are modifying the permissions, specific permissions. So let's say we want all of the permissions for owner, group, and others. We're going to add a 2 here and a 2 here, and it will be 777. Let's say we want 766. We don't want the execute permissions in the last in group and others. So we add a 0 here and a 0 here. So it will be 766. We're going to learn later on more about how to use the exec file as well as how to add the different permissions. But for now, you're getting a lot of practice and learning new things. I hope that it's been a really fulfilled lesson and you keep on learning. Remember, practice makes perfect. Now, you have learned most of it. It's basically knowing that the dash means it is a file and the D, it means we have a directory. And the L means we have a symbolic link. So that is basically what we need to know for the meantime. All right, please remember to practice these commands, to go over this lab as many times as you need to, and review the lab. Go over it, find an operating system in Rocky Linux or Alma Linux and run the commands by yourself. Practice as much as you can. And that will be everything for today. Take care, guys. See you. All right, boys and girls, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you around next class. Goodbye.